Hi everyone! Today I'd like to tell you more about my cat called Soraya. Soraya is actually a shelter cat, one of these that was considered unpopular and hard to handle. I've been wandering in that shelter for hours, unable to make a choice. I was thinking of taking another cat, but as soon as I saw Soraya, called Mean back in those days, parade through the room, I was sold right away. I wasn't particularly fond of black cats, nor did I dislike them or anything, so it was really her attitude that caught my attention. All cats moved aside. She just glanced at me and moved on to jump to a hammock, and she laid down overseeing her kingdom. Her whole air intrigued me, so I grabbed the ordner I got from the shelter, checking out her age. I wanted a young cat, maximum of 2 years old, but not too young either. I was looking for one that already had experience with traffic, as I lived near a very busy street. And there he was, 2 years old and a stray. Found and caught months before and available right away. When I went her way, she just stared at me, clearly tolerating my presence, but not too fond of it. I was convinced she would attack me as soon as I reached for her, but when I did, her gaze softened. She turned on her side and started purring really loud, her extremely long white whiskers pointing right forward, the ends from either side touching each other. I was sold. I went to an employee of the shelter, pointing out which cat I wanted. The woman was surprised. I didn't want that cat, did I? She told me she was hard to handle, hands full, a house full in fact. Maybe I wanted to think twice. The second employee asked me the exact same thing, but there was no way back. I didn't mind a cat that was hard to handle. I was alone, no partner, no kids, no pets, plenty of free time. My only worry was the fact that my house was in fact just one room, but how bad could it be? Well, I came home, released her, and she went straight for the bag with cat litter, which was on my bed, chewed a hole in it, and by the time I got to her, she started on the second hole, covering my whole bed in cat litter. Back in these days, I was depending on my parents for my laundry, as in that house there was no connection for a washing machine available. Suffice to say, my parents weren't really fond of my choice for a companion. And that's not where it ended. She would poop and pee in any bag or on any piece of cloth that belonged to me, not to mention the fact that she would charge any kind of food and even medicines I had in the room or on my plate. I've been spending days eating standing in the middle of my room, as I had no way of locking her outside, but oh, how sweet she was on the other moments of the day. She wasn't a lap cat or anything, she still isn't, but she's very cuddly, people-orientated, smart, and easy to train, something I started to notice a week or two after I got her. Mind you, remember she was a stray. She was very skinny when I got her, so she clearly always had to fight for her food. The fact she would charge for any kind of food was therefore normal behavior. I can't stress that enough for anyone that gets a stray or a shelter cat. Look at where they come from, and don't blame them for trying to survive, even if they're in your house where you provide everything for them. It takes time for them to adjust and to learn that they are safe and don't need to worry anymore about being hungry. So, after a week or two, she became less obsessive towards food, and a simple no would stop her from anything she meant to do. A consistent no with a good timing. This worked for stealing food, but also peeing and pooping everywhere, which, by the way, is a sign of stress. But after telling her no, she never did it again, which makes me think she did it only out of stress the first few days, but made a habit out of it after. After these little issues, which went away in a matter of weeks, I ended up having an amazing cat, happily greeting me whenever I came home, following me around when I had a walk around the block, always up for a cuddle and even ready to defend me when some drug user somehow got lost in my house. It was a rental room with really bad luck, so that's why. She would sit in between me and the guy, dead staring him, and as he was on drugs, he was very impressed by her deadly eyes and freaky whiskers, and decided to leave, which years later I think is a very funny story. I mean, she doesn't even dare to touch me with her paws because she's scared she may hurt me with her claws. Anyways, 12 years forward, the little girl's now 14 years old. She's bugged by arthrosis a bit, but she's still lively, playful, curious, and what else? A very healthy kitty, capable of tricks like jump, turn around, lay down, give paw, and many more things. A sweet little black stray kitty. I never regretted taking her for even a single second. Not even when she would shit on my very last clothes. I would do it all over again without a single moment of doubt, and I encourage everyone that wants a cat to do the same. Go to a shelter, make sure you're informed properly, and go for the cat you fall in love with. Make sure it fits in your household. Don't take a cat that can't be held with children or other cats, if you have any of these, for example. But don't let a so-called hard-to-handle cat you fell in love with go by simply because it may shit on your clothes or may steal your food. You likely will miss out on a lovely companion you soon can't imagine to live without. Keep in mind you never truly know what a cat like that went through, and that there always will be stress and therefore unwanted behavior involved as soon as it's moved into a new environment with unfamiliar people and maybe animals. It's normal, give it time, be kind and clear, be understanding and encourage positive behavior rather than punish the bad, and you'll have a friend for a lifetime. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe down below and leave a like and a comment. Thanks a lot. See you next time.